So I'm back with another new book. This is Plein Air Painting with Watercolours, a practical and inspirational guide to painting outdoors by Grahame. It's recently been published by Search Press in 2025 and it's a paperback with 176 pages. Now this book is described as a complete introduction to painting outdoors and not a complete introduction to watercolour, although it does show the basic techniques. Now inside you will find demonstrations and 8 projects, 2 for each season. At the beginning of each season there will be coloured boxes with additional information, and throughout the book there are yellow outlined boxes with additional tips, and you'll also find quotes. Now Grahame is an excellent teacher. His paintings capture the mood and the atmosphere of the scene, and with this book he will show you how to improve your painting and be prepared for different events, with plenty of useful tips for safe painting outside. So we'll have a look inside this book. There's Grahame, and lovely painting there. And then we have the contents. So we've got preparing for plein air painting in practice, and then we've got the projects. So we've got 2 for spring, 2 for summer, 2 for autumn and 2 for winter, and the glossary and the index. So we have the introduction, and as always I say take a few minutes to read the introduction. It's always very interesting to hear from the artist and the author. It's a lovely colourful book. We've got lots of gentle outdoor colours, and we've got buildings and we've got landscapes. So first of all, Grahame here is going to talk about important elements to think about when you're painting outdoors. So we've got seeing depth, seeing detail and improving your technique. And then Grahame talks about why using watercolour. Now that's beautiful, isn't it? More examples, and then we move on to different equipment and materials, because you need to travel as light as possible to make this experience more comfortable. Lovely bit on brushes here. Like me, Grahame only uses synthetic brushes now. Years ago synthetic brushes were not very good, but these days you can get some wonderful synthetic brushes. And we've got extra tools there. Another example of a painting. We talk about paints and water, the palettes, the importance of the paper and choosing your sketchbooks. Lovely sketchbook studies here. Easels, adapting a tripod. And then I think this is a really useful and interesting little section here, the practical considerations. So we've got travelling light, staying safe, appropriate clothing, onlookers, taking a friend, the changing light, the weather, and transporting your work home. So I think that's all really important if you're new to painting outdoors. You don't want to get outside and suddenly think, oh, I've forgotten something. So we then move on to plein air painting in practice. Again, beautiful. I love these full colour examples with the photograph of the scene in the background and the painting in the foreground there. So we have choosing a subject and narrowing down your viewpoint, changing perspective. We've got composition, tweaking the subject, sketching, and we've got a demo there, sketching, pen and wash, another demo there. We've got linear perspective, aerial perspective, a lovely trick there, glass of water trick. That is really, I haven't really seen that in another book, so that's great to have that here. Then we move on to these basic watercolour techniques. So just all the basics there. And then we move on to spring. So here's that coloured box I was talking about with the light conditions here, potential weather conditions, seasonal features. So that's really helpful. And then we have the first project. It's all step by step, lovely clear examples here, nice big pictures, easy to read print. This really is a well thought out book, very easy to use. So you've got lots and lots of instructions there, so you won't go wrong if you follow all the different steps. And there's the second project. We'll just flick through all those step by step, and then we move on to summer, and there's the features to think about in summer. And again, we've got all these lovely detailed instructions, very clear pictures. I think this is such a high quality book. If you only get one book on painting outdoors, I think it should probably be this one, because I'm very, very impressed with it. I am just going to flip through because there's lots and lots of instructions. We move on to autumn. And in a minute we'll be, oh, there's the second one for autumn, and then we'll get up to winter. There we go, winter, and there's again your things to think about in the winter. Beautiful colours. So this is something I like about the Search Press books, is you get these good size illustrations, you get very easy instructions, very clear step by steps. You've got a glossary there and the index. So that is the book. I think it is a very nice book. It's very nicely presented. And the photos are large enough to see the detail, the instructions are clear, the step-by-step instructions are really good. It's quite a substantial book, both in size and weight, so it's not really going to be a book that you want to carry around with you. It's more of a book to study at home and to practice your painting and to get ready to paint outside. So, you know, just it's a book to learn from, but not a book to necessarily take out with you, because that's quite a weight. But it's a really lovely book. I think it's beautifully constructed. And Grahame, as I mentioned before, wonderful teacher, excellent teacher, and he really knows how to capture mood and atmosphere, and it's really going to help you so much. So even if you are relatively new to watercolour, you could use this book along with another book that's maybe with more detailed watercolour instructions. But if you are really keen to paint outside, there is so much information in here, especially about staying safe and all the things that you need to take with you and how to make it a more enjoyable experience.